it's like the definition of insanity. How often do we talk about it with the Maple Leafs? And I think the next card to drop is going to be the coach, sadly. I don't know when it's going to be. I do feel like since Brad Treliving came, it's a ticking time bomb. It's going to happen eventually. I think the extension was irrelevant. It was great for the Keefe family. That's about it. But at the end of the day, if they're reluctant, to trade one of the big four, the coach is next. That's the way I see it. I don't know if you see it the same way.
No, I can see that because, but again, like, what's gonna matter, right? You're still gonna have that same core of guys, and
Same shit.
And
Yep.
he sets guys up for success too. Like even like the fourth line struggling. I listened to a stat there the other day. It was like they're getting the most offensive zone faceoffs out of like any line at like
There you go.
49% or something, and they're still struggling. Like so, it's he's trying to give guys a chance to succeed and get better and do that. But like you're playing with the guys you got, and at some point, I've been through lots of coaches on different teams and stuff. Like it's about the guys in the room, man. Like when you can start
Yep.
buying in yourself and the coaches doesn't have to coach you anymore. He's pretty much just like letting the boys go out and play and you know how to police yourself and you have that leadership and you have that pushback and I get every night. You can't be on every night. Like 82 games, like there's no chance. No way. But in the same sense, there's those nights where maybe your big guys don't have it and your fourth line is just mucking it up and they're grinding. They're getting the crowd into it. And then they're forcing teams to ice the puck. And then you're getting your big boys over the line or they're drawing a penalty and you're like dragging them into the game where I just don't feel that happens in the depth of this team. It's like we just sit back and hope that Matthews Marners can win the game for us and Woll or Samsonov can make enough saves because the rest of the lineup is just struggling.
The other thing, too, is like all these people who want Sheldon Keefe gone. Okay, who are you bringing in? It's not going to be Bruce Boudreau because he's wanted to be here for 5 years and they don't want to hire him. Is it going to be Joel Quenneville for a team who won't even have Pursuit of Happiness as their goal song? I don't think so. Claude Julien, and that's the thing that, people don't think about. Okay, you don't want Keefe here. Is there anybody out there who makes sense, who can come in and put this team over the top? That's the question. But I do think Keefe's on a bit of a leash here. Like if this continues where they're very inconsistent, because we've seen this at the early points of many regular seasons, I do think his job could be on the line here over the next couple of weeks.
I agree too, because it's not his, like Trevelyan came in, Keefe
Yeah.
isn't his guy, right? And there's
Yep.
always that, you see that all the time, whether it's GMs, coaches, players, like even sometimes GMs, when they get like other players, it's like they're married to that contract or they have this coach. You're really not my guy. So I'm not like married to you. I'd rather go down getting a new guy in here and losing my job and like at least it's on me than
Yeah.
like going down in flames with somebody else that I didn't bring in that I never really had that relationship with or trust, especially a guy that's a veteran guy too, right? He's been around a long time. He's going to know other head coaches. He's going to have relationships of guys that think there's got to be other people that are in his ear too about this.
You know what scares the shit out of me? Guy Boucher's on the Leafs bench, and Guy Boucher was a finalist for the job when Mike Babcock got the job in Toronto. We all know what happened. Babcock was going to go to Buffalo. His wife wanted to go to Toronto. They went to Toronto. Guy Boucher was in a hotel, and now he's on the bench. So if Keefe goes, I think it's Guy Boucher. And quite honestly, I don't know how I feel about that. I think coaching to a degree is overrated in this league. Having said that, it is a factor. I mean, you look at Boston, you look at Vegas, you look at John Cooper in Tampa, who we're going to see tonight. There are coaches who put teams over the top. And I think if it's not going to be Keefe, it has to be a guy who makes sense. It can't be a Guy Boucher. Like, it's got to be somebody who you see the hire and you're like, you know what? Makes a lot of sense. Person's been there. They have what it takes to get this team to that next level. And I honestly don't feel that way about Guy Boucher.